أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله ونحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحديث حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدع وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. With this, we welcome to the introduction of our 17th session today, 17 A and B. So, like we normally do, the first 10 minutes will be a basic revision of the past class. So, brother Dr. Saad will be helping us out in that. So, the first part he will be covering like Suratul Kafirun and a few verbs which will have the past tense, present tense, and the imperative and negative, inshallah. So, brother Saad, you can start the revision, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We'll start with the Suratul Kafirun. قل أعوذ قل يا أيها الكافرون. قل means say. Ya ayyuha, O al kafirun, the disbelievers. La a'budu ma ta'budun. La means not. A'budu. A'budu is from the single person, future single person, like ya'budu, ya'buduna, ta'budu, ta'buduna, a'budu, na'budu. So a'budu, I worship. So la a'budu means I do not worship. Ma, what? Ta'budun. Ta'budun means you all worship. So I do not worship what you all worship. Wala antum abiduna ma a'bud. Wala, wa means and, la means not, antum means you all. Antum abiduna. Abiduna is plural of abid, and abid is a noun form of abada. Abidun, worshippers. Ma, what? Abud, I worship. Again, it is repeated. I worship. So, wala antum, and nor are you worshippers of what I worship. Wala ana, and not ana. I, abidun, abid, a worshipper, ma abattum, of what you worshipped. Abattum is against the past tense of abada, uh, abadu, abatta, abattum. You all worshipped, and nor will I be a worshipper of what you worshipped. Wala antum abiduna ma abad. Again, it is repeated, and nor are you a worshippers of what I worship. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. La means for, kum means you all. Over here, we'll take it as to you. Lakum dinukum, to you all. Dinukum, your deen, your religion. Waliya, and for me, deeni, my deen. We'll also take the grammar part from the Bab Fatha. We'll take all the four chapters like past tense, present tense, imperative, and negation. Past tense for fataha is fataha, fatahu, fatahta, fatahtum, fatahtu, fatahna. Means he opened, they all opened, you all opened, I opened, we opened. Present tense will be from above yaftahu, yaftahuna, taftahu, taftahuna, aftahu, naftahu. Yaftahu is he open, he opens. Yaftahuna, they opens. Taftahu, you opens. Taftahuna, they all open. Aftahu, I open. Naftahu, we open. These all can also be he will open, they will open, you will open, they all will open, you all will open, I will open, and we will open. So this can be present as well as future for the yaftahu yaftahuna part. Then if you'll see imperative like order, iftah, open. Iftahu, you all open. La taftah, don't open. La taftahu, you all don't open. So this is imperative and negation for as well as past and future for bab fataha. We'll also take bab nasara, where nasara means he helped. For past tense, we'll take it little down. Nasara, nasaru, nasarta, nasartum, nasartu, nasarna. Nasara means he helped. Nasaru means they helped. Nasarta means you helped. Nasartum means you all helped. Nasartu means I helped. Nasarna means we helped. These all in past tense. Then coming to present or future tense, which is called fi'l mudari, yansuru. Here the ayn kalima will have pesh, whereas previously it was zabar. Now it will have pesh for bab nasara. Yansuru, yansuruna. We'll take it little above. Yansuru, yansuruna, tansuru, tansuruna, ansuru, nansuru. Where yansuru means he help or he will help. Yansuruna, they help or they will help. Tansuru, you help or you will help. Tansuruna, they help. You all help or you all will help. Ansuru, I help or I will help. Nansuru, we help or we will help. For imperative, unsur. Previously it was ifta, it was there because of Ain Kalima had Zabar. Here Ain Kalima has page, so imperative will also have a page on the starting, on the alif. Unsur, unsuru, la tansuru,
Your mic is become mute. Prasad,
okay,
unmute your mic. Yeah.
yeah. Unsur, unsuru, la tansuru, help for single person, help you all. La tansur, don't help. La tansuru, don't help for uh, you all. And another verb will take as khalaqa. Khalaqa means he created. So for past tense, khalaqa, khalaqu, khalaqta, khalaqtum, khalaqtu, khalaqna. Khalaqa means he created. Khalaqu means they created. Khalaqta means you created. Khalaqtum means you all created. Khalaqtu I created.
ये आकाश
Khalaqna we created.
जसीम भाई फोन कर
For present tense, it will be yakhluqu, yakhluquna, takhluqu, takhluquna, akhluqu, nakhluqu. For imperative, ukhluq, ukhluqu, la takhluq, la takhluqu. Over to you, Dr. Shahnawaz.
Yeah, Jazakallah for covering it well. Exactly 10 minutes, a little over that, just a minute. Mashallah, there was a good revision of what we had done. In fact, it was almost 3 classes grammar in 10 minutes. So, quick revision for most of us. Jazakallah khair. So, inshallah, with that, we will begin the today's session, and which is a 17th session. The whole point of today's session is that we have been studying all this, and we have the group we have named as Increased Khushu in Salah. So, I hope that most of you are able to focus better, at least with the small surahs that we've already done. Today we are not covering any small surah. We were actually going to cover ayah from Suratul Sa'ad, and that ayah is telling us the purpose of why Allah Ta'ala has sent down the Quran to us. So that's a very important ayah. It's just a single ayah. It is ayat number 29 of Suratul Sa'ad, inshallah. So I'll just share my screen with that, and we will then start, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we are going to start the 17th session today, and as I told you, the points that we will be covering today is first is the purpose of the revelation, why Allah Ta'ala has sent down the Quran. We should know that, otherwise we uh, have learned and we've been practicing something else all this time. We feel that Quran is for doing Quran Khani only, that when we are taking a new house, we do Quran Khani, or when somebody's died, we just read before that or after that. But here, Allah Ta'ala is defining the purpose of the revelation, why Allah Ta'ala has sent down this Quran for us. So, what a lot of misconceptions, a lot of wrong things that we have been doing, inshallah, we should try to improve on that, inshallah. So, that is the first part. The second part is the grammar. Already, Brother Saad has covered a few examples from the last time. So today we have two verbs, idrib and isma. And for homework, it is going to be i'lam and i'mal. And in all this, we are going to be learning 14 new words in this first session, the 7A part. And those words are covered almost 1040 times. So there's almost 1,000 new words that we will be learning, inshallah. But as I will always tell you, that just try to grasp the formula. Once you grasp the formula, then any word that comes, you'll know what type of verb it is. It is noun, or it is verb, or it is order, or it is a particle. If you understand that much, I think that the purpose of this first course would be done. And also, you take any random ayah and you know that you are understanding the structure of the sentence, and that you might be able to translate also, just if you get few more words meanings, just a few words. If you I think most of us have reached that stage with whatever we have done till now, till the 16 classes that we have done. If revising this, we shouldn't leave our tilawat. When we are doing the tilawat, that time we focus and try to put whatever we have learned till now. Try to put those grammar points that we have seen all this time, and try to pick up words and try to understand whether this is a noun or why it is a noun, whether it is a verb, why it is a verb. At least that much, I think, should be clear in the tilawat that we are doing. Also, study the book, study the chapters again and again. So the more you do it, your vocabulary also will get better, inshallah, and you would be able to understand also better. listen to the MP3s because those are lectures. You can keep listening it like a lot of people listen to music while traveling, doing any other work. Whether even if your focus is less, you can still get some points from there. Uh, keep a partner, teach and learn from each other. So that is a better way. So for revising also, recite different surahs in the salah so that when you're reciting different surahs, you get new words. And if you think about an ayah, then you might just go back and check the meaning of that, and that will inshallah make it easier for you, right? So basically, the ayah has just two things, and the whole purpose of the revelation. We know the importance of the Quran and all those things, but here in this particular ayah, Allah Taala has actually told us why He has revealed this book for us. And the two most important words for today are tadabbur and tadhakkur. Tadabbur and tadhakkur. The meaning of tadabbur is pondering, and or the meaning of tadhakkur is taking admonition or taking lessons or learning from it. So this is the purpose of the revelation. So any surah that we are uh, learning or any ayat that we are learning, we should try and ponder over the meanings of these ayat. And with just knowing the meaning is also not going to help us. We should actually receive the admonition from those ayat, whatever is. So with that, inshallah, we begin with the surah, the first one, and the ayat is from, as I told you, Surah Sad 19, right? The first word of that is very simple, and we all know it, and I don't think that requires any introduction. Kitabun, right? I'll first recite the ayah fully, and then we can inshallah take it. So the ayah is Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب. That's the full ayat. So the first word of it is kitab, and now we know that kitab is a noun, and the sign of the noun is that there is a tanween or pesh on it. Okay, so you can see here, this indicates that it is a noun, and this indicates that it is a singular. It is a single word. It is not a plural because it has tanween. So tanween in a noun indicates that it is nakira without al, and it indicates that it is a single. It also indicates a unit. So as we have seen, because of the grammar, in the English translation is saying a book. A indicates one, but here how do you know it's a single and not a plural? Because it has got a tanween at the end, and this tanween is indicating to us that this is a single book. So kitab, you already know the meaning. Kitabun, a book or a single book. So that's why whenever we are uh, reading Arabic and especially the Quran, each word has its implication. We have seen the Gardans and how one word indicates so many things. So here, this kitab indicates that it is a book. It is indicating that it's a single book. But here it is, Allah Ta'ala is not saying Al Kitab. Like Al Quran is a specific book. Here Allah Ta'ala is saying a book. So, yeah, book. So this is Kitabun, single book, Kitabun. And the plural of Kitab is going to be Kutub, Kutubun, right? Now, we have basically learned that the plural, whenever we are making a plural, what do? We add wow and noon, right? We add wow and noon. But here, this is not following that particular pattern because this is a different type of word. Okay? So just to give you a similar example from English, which you all know, and that is the basic thing that we are, the basic medium that we are following. Say normal English plurals, we just add s to it. Like book becomes books. But there are specific words like say knife or wife. Uh, wife is sorry, knife. Knife is knives. The word doesn't have v in it, but then the plural has a v in it, which is different from the basic word. It is not knives. It is knives. VES. Right. There are other examples like this also where the word structure changes slightly to indicate the plurality of the thing. So similar thing is there in Arabic, and in fact we have many more kind of plurals in Arabic. So this is called as a broken plural. The normal plural that we see with a vav noon is called a sound plural, which you have already learned, like kafir, kafirun, kafiruna, kafirina, right? And mu'minun, mu'minuna, mu'minina. But all the nouns will not follow that pattern. This is an example of a broken plural wherein the pattern is different. So kitab is a singular kitabun, and the plural of kitab is kutubun. Right? So our common name is there Kutubuddin. Kutubuddin means the books of the Deen. Kutubuddin, books of the Deen. Right. So whoever is names this Kutubuddin, it is actually mean it. And a lot of people write it with Q, but they should write it with a K. I feel. Anyways, that is how the transliteration happen. That's not our concern basically. So here the point is Kitab is a single book, Kitabun, and the plural is Kutubun, which is plural. This has come about 261 times in the Quran. It is a very simple word, and I think we don't need to do too much of the this on this, right? The next word is anzalna. From the basic grammar and the revision that we've done, we know that anzalna is coming for a plural, right? The other thing that I want to say here is we also saw that purpose is a revelation. Actually, it is not a revelation. We should not be translating as revelation because it is not something that has been revealed. It was closed and it is revealed. It has been sent down. The word anzala means it has been sent down. And anzalna means we send it down. So if we do the TPI of anzala, it will be anzala, anzalu, anzalta, anzaltum, anzaltu, which means I reveal, and anzalna. Allah Ta'ala is using na as a plural, but Allah Ta'ala is singular. The reason for this, we have told before also, that when Allah Ta'ala uses it, it is like a royal plural. Right? A simple example is our past Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi used to say, "Hum ye karenge." It it would mean "मैं करूँगा," but he used to say "हम ये करेंगे." So that is the kind of usage of the royal plural. And Allah Ta'ala has at a lot of places is using this royal plural. It does not mean that there is plurality in Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala is single, but it's just the richness of the language that is being used here. So, right, Kitabun, we have already seen, is a book. Anzalnahu. Now, there is a who coming here. This who is coming because Kitab is a masculine, right? So, we have known that nouns, when anything is added, the attached pronoun who is who comes, right? So, Kitabun, Anzalnahu. So, Anzalnahu are two different words, Anzalna and plus who. Now, who is translated here as it because kitab is a non-living thing. One more important grammatical point that we should know is that in Arabic, there are only two genders. The word is either masculine or a feminine. It is not, no, there's no neutral gender in Arabic. Like in English, we have neutral genders where we can use things like it and all that, but there are some words which do not have a gender. But in Arabic, all the words are either a masculine or a feminine. So whatever noun that we get, we should also try and find out whether it is masculine or feminine. मुज़क्कर है या मुअन्नस. Arabic में दो ही जिन्स हैं, right? Only two genders. So Kitabun Anzalnahu, here who is coming for the book? We have revealed it. The translation it is because there is no neutral gender in Arabic, and here we cannot translate as we send him down because it's not a person. That's why we're translating it in English as it. The he who becomes it, right? So I hope otherwise you'll say we have learned kitabuhum, anzalna who. Why is it translated as it? That's why I'm giving you a clarification. Anzalna, we send down. It is not we revealed. It is anzalna. We sent it down. So it has been sent down from somewhere up to the earth. This word we have already seen ila and ka added to it becomes ilaika. Right? So the TPI of that we have seen before. Ilaihi, ilaihim, ilaika, ilaikum, ilayya, ilaina. Here it is ilaika. So ka here is it means you. And when Allah Ta'ala is saying Anzalnahu ilayka, it means this ka indicates the Prophet and it indicates that Allah Ta'ala is communicating with the Prophet in second person. That Allah Ta'ala is saying, I have sent this book down to you. I means we have sent this book down to you. Right? So Kitabun Anzalnahu ilayka. So you already know that this is a revelation. Quran is a revelation, or it has been sent down. It has been sent down by Allah Ta'ala through Jibreel alayhi salam to ilayka, to you, towards you. because Allah Ta'ala is talking here in the second person. So the last word of this part is Mubarak. Mubarak is blessing, and I always say that it is a very difficult word to translate in a single word. Baraka is something which is uh, which if you talk to any non-Muslim and say ki bahut barakat hai, they will not understand what this baraka is all about. So it is something which is a very comprehensive word with a lot of things in it. We'll try to dissect out some part of it. Here the example giving for Mubarak. Remember, Mubarak is Eidun Mubarakun. That let this Eid be a blessing for you. Mubarak is basically like we are sort of giving dua in this Eid Mubarak, but here Mubarak means it is already full of the blessings. Okay, Mubarakun, full of blessings. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that the Quran is a book which is sent down, anzalnahu, from the heavens through Jibril alayhi salam, ilayka, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what is baraka? Baraka means to receive a blessing. And when we receive a blessing, it means that that blessing is constantly going to be staying with you. If you get something and if you have it, then it is a blessing. If you get it today and then don't have it tomorrow, then it is not a blessing. Right? So to have a blessing and the blessing stays with you and the blessing is having an increase in it. So we also have to see whether we have got it, got the Quran, whether it is with us, and also whether there is any increase happening in it, or we know only two surahs and we are just reciting those in the salah. We know only four salahs, or we are reciting only that in the salah. Are we increasing in it? Are we getting that barakah? Are we making utility of that barakah? So just take few more examples of how Quran is Mubarak and how what is the blessing in it. Is the night in which it was revealed. We know in Laylatul Qadr, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. We have revealed it in the Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 nights because the Quran was revealed or was sent down on that particular night. That particular night becomes better than 1,000 nights. So just imagine the barakah of Quran. One night equivalent, not even equivalent, more than. We'll not put an equal to sign, more than. And how much would also we do not know. This is the beauty of barakah. So the night in which it was revealed became better than 1,000 nights. So we can imagine how great the Quran is and how good it is. Also, the month in which it was revealed became the best month for us. Okay, so uh, this is a part of the barakah. The second, the messenger, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messenger on which it was revealed became the best messenger and the top messenger. Also know that the city in which it was revealed became the best city and the city of peace. Right. So this is just a few examples of the barakah that the Quran has. There are innumerable barakah that the Quran has, and as I told you, barakah is something which means blessing, continuity of that blessing, and increment in that blessing. And we have to see how much increments we are getting in those blessings. This book changed the history of the world. The Sahaba who received it became the leaders in the world within 100 years of the Quran being revealed. And for almost 1,000 years, it was the same till the Muslims were attached to the Quran. And now we know how we are being sort of ruined because of our distance from the Quran and because of the loss of barakah, because of the fact that we are away from the Quran. If we remain true to the Quran and if we remain close to the Quran, you will find even today you can continue to receive those blessings, and the strives and the stresses that we see happening around us will not really affect us because we will have a different relationship with Allah Ta'ala if we are close to the Quran, because this is the word of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So we should be extremely happy and say, "Oh Allah, thank you so much. You are so nice and so caring that you have sent this book to us. This book which is full of barakah you have sent to us. The best use of a blessing is a benefit that we take from it. So if we do not take any utility or utilization from it, then we are losing on those blessings. Allah Ta'ala has given that. Allah Ta'ala has given a Mubarak book, but if we are not a part of it, we are losing on it. The best use of a blessing is to benefit from it. Therefore, we should recite it and understand it and ponder it and memorize it and spread this. Simple, any blessing that you take, if you're not going to be utilizing it, it is useless to you. Say if you have a car and you're not using it, so it's an asset you have, but it is getting wasted. So something like that. So anything that is a blessing to you, if you're utilizing it, then you are going to sort of enjoy it completely. Inshallah. So we've seen the book is full of barakah, but why did Allah Ta'ala send it down? We have not yet reached that part. We already covered those two words before. Inshallah, those are coming in the next two parts of the ayah. So if we want to receive the barakah and the blessings of this kitab of Quran, then we have to do two things, which we'll inshallah see what those two things are. So we'll just revise this. Brother Saad, you can come along and we'll revise this much part of the ayah.
Okay.
Kitabun
It is a book.
anzalnahu
We have sent it down
ilayka
to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
mubarakun
full of blessings.
كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك.
There is a book we have sent it down to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, full of blessings.
So this is a book that Allah Ta'ala sent as down to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and with the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to us, because he is Allah's messenger to us, and it is full of blessings. Mubarak. So now we come to why it has been sent down to us. So we know that li is for, right? So lillahi means for Allah. Alhamdulillahi, all praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the li comes with the noun, when the li is attached to a noun, then it indicates belonging, right? But when it comes with a verb, it indicates for the action of that particular word. So again, the meaning remains for, but the implications are different. There it indicates possession. Here it indicates the purpose, right? Li becomes the purpose of that particular verb. So li means for what purpose? Yadabbaru. Yadabbaru, we have seen that before. It is pondering, which means focusing and trying to grasp the meanings of it, right? Li means for or so that, as I told you, when it is coming with a verb, the translation will be for the action of that word, which means so that you do that thing, so that you ponder. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that this is a blessed book that was revealed to you, that is the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is blessed so that li yadabbaru, so that you ponder. Yadabbaru, that is they ponder. It is the third person we now know of fa'ala yaf'alu. So this ya that is there in this particular word, it is indicating that this is a present and a future tense. A present and future tense indicates that the action is happening, or it is going to happen, or it will happen in future. So here Allah Ta'ala is using the present tense so that you ponder now and you keep pondering later on also. So it is not a thing which is just stopped. As I told you, we have two verbs or two types of verbs in Arabic. One is madi, that is past tense, and the other is mudare, that is happening now or is going to happen. Allah Ta'ala here is using the present and future tense, which means that this action should happen now when we are reading it, and should happen later also when we are reading some other ayat and things like that. So this is a continuity of the action. This is the beauty of the language. Why small things that are part of the grammar are so important, that they can have different implications. So liyadabbaru, that is so that they ponder. So the purpose was yadabbaru, so that they ponder. The root of this is dabara. Dabara we also know as the back or the spine is called dabar, and we are on our spine, and we shouldn't be turning our backs. There also dabir word is used, right? The last part or the mid part is liyadabbaru on what? So ponder on what? Ayatihi. Ayat is the verses or signs, right? So verse is not a not a proper translation, because verse indicates that it's a single sentence. In Quran, each ayah is an ayah. We cannot, the word verse cannot be considered same as an ayah, because an ayah is a sign. Allah Ta'ala is saying ayah is a sign, and verse is an English translation that we have been using, but I think it is not a proper perfect translation, because every ayah of the Quran is a sign. Whether we are able to utilize or understand that as a sign or no is our weakness, but each and every ayah of the Quran is a sign. So translating it as a verse sort of demeans or reduces the meaning of the word ayah. Ayah is a singular and ayat is the plural. We have this is a normal sound feminine plural. The ta marbuta becomes ata. This is how the plurals are made in sound plural. So liyadabbaru, so that, or they may ponder. They matlab the here it is Allah Ta'ala is talking to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and telling that I have revealed this to you so that they ponder. Who are these they? We. So the year there, it is for us, and the ka is for the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because that is Allah Ta'ala is talking to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in second person, and the third person here is all the Muslims and all the non-Muslims as well, because this purpose, it is not saying the liyadabburul Muslimi. No, it is saying just ponder. So the who is going to be pondering is left open. So it is all of us, whether we have believed or not believed till now, or once we ponder it, inshallah, then we would come to know the beauty of it and would start believing in it, inshallah. So even if we are born Muslims, if we do not ponder on it, we are not going to get the barakas from it, inshallah. Right? So ayat, plural is ayat. And ayat with a who becomes he, because of ayatihi. The T is coming there. That's why it is not ayatihu. Ayatihu pronunciation will be little odd. That's why when the ya comes before it, it becomes he. So the meaning of the he is it, and this it also is indicating the kitab that the ayat has started with. Okay? So kitabun anzalnahu, here it is ayatihi. The who and the he both refer back to the kitab in which with which the ayat is starting. This who or he here indicates that it is it. Okay, so liyadabbaru ayati. The Quran is sent down for pondering and taking lessons from it. Pondering means thinking or reflecting upon something. Like if you are reading a newspaper or if you are reading a novel, we just go on reading without really grasping too much. We just want to know what is going on. As against that, if we are reading a book of maths or a science or some particular philosophy or commerce, we can't just read it. We'll have to analyze it, right? So, and we have to think over it whether whatever points are there in that are proper or no. So this is what basically pondering is. This is just trying to explain in more detail what is pondering. It is not just we open and read Alhamdulillah, and just go through and say, okay, I finished my tilawa for the day. So I would suggest that everybody who's doing tilawa try to maybe even reduce the number of ayahs that you're reciting, but try to internalize or try to know the meanings of that, and that would be that would sort of complete the purpose of the revelation as we are seeing in this ayah. And the purpose of the revelation, the purpose of recitation is liyadabbaru. Just put it in your mind, liyadabbaru. I have to do tadabbur. I have to do tadabbur. Okay. If we realize the greatness of the book, we will be more motivated to ponder over it. This book is sent by the creator of this universe, who has always been there and will always be there. So, who awwalu wal akhiru, and whose universe is so big that just to go out of our own galaxy, we need 1 lakh years, not with the speed of our jets that we are flying, with the speed of light. People who are having the science background will know that what is the speed of light. It is almost 3 lakh kilometers in 1 second. This is the speed of light, right? So Allah Ta'ala has sent this down for us as a barakah. Just imagine the greatness of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and the greatness of the universe that He has created. So much so that just to get out of our own galaxy, we have to travel at the speed of light, and that also will take 1 lakh years. We are not going to be living so long. So how can we go? But then we know that the Prophet ﷺ has gone. So there's a totally different dimension, and that has a totally different sign. Coming back to ponder the Quran and reflect upon it, we have to understand it first. If we're not going to understand it, how are we going to ponder over it? This is such a big stimulus for us to try and understand what we are reading in the Quran daily, in our daily tilawah. Right. So coming to the last part of the ayah, what is the second purpose that we are being told to as a purpose of the revelation or the purpose of sending the Quran down is verb we already know is and be we already know is so that when it is coming with a verb, and so that yet here is for the third person. That's why in the bracket you are seeing that it is written they li yatazakkaru. Yatazakkaru. This is a different type of a word which has the root words we know are zal, kaf, and ra. But here the ya indicates the third person, right? And the tazakkara is a part of that verb. This is the derived verbs. Just to tell you that it is derived verb, but the basic ya here, as we know that ya indicates present and future tense, right? As we saw in the tadabbur and yaddabbaru, also that ya is there, and here also that ya is there. Like li yatazakkara, li yatazakkara. Wa means and, li means so that. So that what we do? Yatazakkara. Zakara means to remember. Keep remembering, then you receive the admonition, and that is what is yata zakkara, right? So it is on the same pattern of zakara, but it has an additional ta and a shadda. So this particular pattern is called tafa'ala, bab tafa'ala. Inshallah, as we go ahead in the course, we'll reach a time where we are able to understand this particular form of verbs as well. For now, just know that this is a different type of a verb. Okay. So one purpose was tadabbur, and the second purpose is tadhakkur. And the ya indicates that it is for the third person. Means the Allah Ta'ala is talking to the Prophet, Ilaika, we have sent it down to you. For what? So that all the other people do what? Yatazakkaru and yatadabbaru. Okay? Yadabbaru. Right. So yatazakkar is to receive admonition, and as I told that ya indicates the third person, so that they all receive the admonition. So again, coming back to our two purposes, just remember these two words. These two words are the purpose of revelation of the Quran. What it is? Yadabbaru, yadabbaru, yadabbaru ayatihi. And waliyatazakkara, so that receive admonition. Who? Who's going to receive the admonition? Ulu or uli. Now, this particular construction in Arabic indicates wala. So in India, we have a lot of these surnames. If you know, Lokhandwala and Chai Wala, and a lot of these are there in Bori community. A lot of people have these walas, you know. So this wala is in Arabic is ulu and uli, right? So ulu and uli indicate wala, those who possess, right? So those who ulu al albab. So possession is actually zoo. This is not wala is actually zoo, but here indicate those who are the possessor of, those who have ulu. Ulu who? Albab. Albab is the plural of lubbun. Lubbun means our intellect, our thinking, our mind, our heart. If you consider, if you are thinking from the heart, then heart, mind, and intellect. So where we are completely involved, right? So here, albab is like a challenge to us that if you have some understanding, if you have some intellect, if you have some mind, then the two purposes are very clear that it is yadabbaru and yatazakkaru, right? Because of that li, the page is getting dropped and we are getting a zabar here. Li yatazakkara, it is not yatazakkaru. As we have seen in verbs, it is yaf'alu and not yaf'ala. But now because of this li, it is changing. Anyway, this is also part of the future grammar lessons, but just to tell you. Right. So receiving admonition means to take the lessons, to listen to the advice, not just take lessons and listen and okay, now it's not for me. It is for those other people, not for me. And to implement it in our lives. For example, you tell a student prepare for the exams or you will fail. Now, after listening to that, he starts preparing for the exams. So he has acted upon it, right? So that is how we have to also act. If some order comes in the Quran, if some admonition is coming in the Quran, then we have to listen to it and then we have to obey it. And that is what the believers had said, Sami'na wa ata'na. And this is what the misak that the Muslims have taken, that when we have said the kalima, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have taken a misak of what? Sami'na wa ata'na. We will listen and we will obey. So when we have said the shahada, it is as if we have taken a misak of two things, Sami'na wa ata'na. So it is not just that you take the shahada and it is done and you are free to do whatever you want. No. Right, so going ahead, we'll just have a little revision. Brother Sadi can come along and we will have the revision of this last part of the ayah.
Okay.
لِيَدَّبَّرُوا.
So that they ponder.
ayatihi
its verses,
liyadabbaru ayatihi.
so that they ponder its verses.
So that they ponder over its verses, right? Over is just an addition, but that will complete the English sentence. There's no over word written here, but so that they ponder over its verses. And as I told you, verses is again not the right thing. It is a sign. All the ayat of the Quran are signs, right? And we have to try and see what is the sign in each particular ayat. And then we will get to the beauty of the Quran, inshallah. وَلِيَتَذَكَّرَ
So that they receive admonition.
أُولُو
Those of
الْبَابِ
understanding,
وَلِيَتَذَكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ.
and so that they receive admonition, those of understanding.
Right. So as we saw here, the singular of albab is lubbun, and the word has become albab, right? So like we have the word bab, which means door, and the plural of that is abwab. Again, that is also a broken plural, wherein the word gets broken and then the verb, the plural is getting formed. So this is not the sound plural, but these are types of plurals like we have in other, as I told you in English, we have knife and knives, something like that. The word gets slightly broken and slightly changed, and we get the plural of the word, right? So carry this booklet, keep revising. This particular ayat will also be there in that revision of this particular lesson. So as we saw, the to receive the full barakah, what you need to do, two things. Just today's lesson, just remember these two words and memorize them, and inshallah you'll be knowing one particular full ayat with that. Tadabbur and tazakkur. You have to do pondering and receive admonition. So if you are not having these two things, then we are not receiving the full barakah. How to bring Quran into your life? This is a little description of how we go about achieving these two things. So inshallah, we'll take that also. It is there in the notes which have been sent. So how should our relation with the Quran be? There are 4 points described here. One is that it should be direct. Direct would mean that we should have that feeling that Allah Ta'ala is directly talking to us. So that is a direct. So we don't need intermediaries. We don't need uh, direct muftis to tell us that this is what it is. Allah Ta'ala has kept that in the Quran, and every household has a Quran. And Allah Ta'ala has told the Prophet that I have given you this book and I'm going to ask them. Right? Here Allah Ta'ala is telling, I have given you the book so that they do two things. Right? They would integrate all of humanity, all of the people other than the Prophet. So the direct part is that Quran is the word of Allah. Whenever I hear it or recite it, I should feel that Allah is directly addressing me. This, unless that feeling is there, that the effect of that will not be there. And He sees me how I react to His words. So I always ask people, what is the difference in Quran and other books? Basic difference is that when any book you are reading, the author does not know what is going in your heart, in your mind, or what are you thinking about whatever has been written. Here it is totally different. Whenever you are reciting the Quran, Allah Ta'ala is actually seeing what you are doing. In fact, there is a particular ayah where Allah Ta'ala is telling the Prophet that whenever you are reciting the Quran, we listen to it. Right? So whenever we are listening, also Allah Ta'ala is seeing what we are doing and how our reaction is and how are we responding to it. Second, it is personal. So DPPR, direct personal. Personal is that every verse of the Quran, verse no, every ayat of the Quran, every sign of the Quran is for me. Normally our tendency is that okay, this is for this ayat is for the kafirs, and this ayat is for the mushriks, and this ayat is for the munafiqs, and this is for that, right? We don't try to take it on ourselves. So we have to see that what is there for me in this particular thing. So only when we are doing tadabbur and tazakkur, then we will have something in it. So why did Allah Ta'ala address this particular thing to me, or for that matter for everybody? So like we say that dane dane pe likha hai khane wale ka naam. Every grain is destined for somebody to eat it. In the same manner, every verse is also for somebody, and if somebody is destined to hear it and to recite it. So we should see what is there for us in that particular thing. Okay, and what am I doing today for it? Okay, and the relevance. So Quran is a reminder. And can Allah's reminder be irrelevant? Just think over. And we should ask Allah, why did you make me hear this particular ayat today? Or whatever ayat. So I now, Alhamdulillah, all the masajids have opened up. So every Fajr we are going to listen to some kirat or some ayat in the masjid. So we have to ponder over it and think, okay, what is the first of all, understand the meaning of that ayat, and then ponder over it, or what is the relevance of this ayat to me today, right? Only then we will be heading towards acting on it, right? So tadabbur means thinking or over or pondering over it. So below a simple method of tadabbur for a common man is given, and there are many aspects of tadabbur, but we are going to talk only of basics. We are not going to be talk of high level research. So study the verses repeatedly with understanding. Just go through the basic meaning of it first, then study the brief commentary or the tafsir of it if it is available. If not, go to a alim and try to understand the meaning of it one, and then the Shani Nuzul, why this was revealed, in what circumstances it was revealed, what did Allah Ta'ala expect from the Sahabis at that particular time, what did Allah Ta'ala expect from the Prophet from at that particular time when this particular ayat was revealed. So then you use your imagination to visualize the things in that particular ayat. See, when Allah Ta'ala is saying about the samawat, heavens, you try to imagine the seven heavens, and as we were just thought over, like to pass our galaxy itself, how much time it is going to take, and how big is Allah Ta'ala's universe, and try to imagine the greatness of things, and that will sort of involve us more into the listening of the Quran and understanding it. So feel, recite with the feelings, and that is what we are lacking today. And I always say that the ayat where Allah Ta'ala is saying that when they used to listen to the Quran, they used to get tears in their eyes. And Allah Ta'ala is talking here about the Christians of those times. We being Muslims, we saying that this is our book, we have nothing. When we listen to the Quran, nothing happens to us. Why? Because we don't have the feelings for it. When we are listening to the ayat of the Jannah and the ayat of the hell, we have to have feelings in it. That is what, when the feelings are there, we'll be more only when we are more attached to it, then inshallah the feelings will come. And we will not be attached to it unless we know the meanings, right? So that is why this whole exercise is being done, so that we understand the Quran and what we are reciting in it, and we get a feeling for it, inshallah. So it also means to tazakkur means to take lessons and receiving admonition from it. That's a simple method to do it. So what are we going to do and how we're going to get this tazakkur is extract a dua from the passage you have learned and ask Allah to help you implement on what you're asking. So if you've heard particular ayah in a particular day, then first of all try to get what is there, what Allah Ta'ala wants us from it, and then ask Allah Ta'ala for help. So make dua for yourself that I've heard this ayat, what is there in this ayat, and let me be able to implement on it. So for that, we should have a niya. If we have a niya, then inshallah things will become easy. So whenever we are listening to Quran, we should have the niya that I should get the best from it and I should be able to implement on it and act on it later. So just the dua is not enough. One should evaluate his performance and make plans. Otherwise, it will be like a student who prays to Allah Ta'ala in Fajr, Zuhur, Asr, etc. Okay, Allah Ta'ala, help me pass the exam, help me pass the exam, help me pass the exam. And he doesn't go to school, he doesn't do any studies or doesn't open any book. Do you think that this is the right way? I don't think so, but that's what we are doing every time. We are asking, making dua. Oh, give me firdaus, give me firdaus, give me firdaus. How much are we preparing for it? Right? So do you think that Jannah is so easy and we can just walk into it? No. So we have to put in our efforts. And Allah Ta'ala has said that Allah Ta'ala has made man for hard work. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. It's hard work. So if we have to put in that hard work, then we are going to get our results. We cannot just expect sit on couches and expect, oh Allah, give me firdaus, and we will get firdaus. So what have we done so far regarding the work related to the dua that we're making? For example, how much time did we invest in the last day, in the tadabbur of the Quran? If we have not done this, then we have to do istighfar, and if you've done it, alhamdulillah, and then Allah Ta'ala give us more hidayat so that we inshallah do it regularly and do the tadabbur of the Quran on a regular basis. What is the plan regarding the work related to the dua? For example, how much time we are going to give. So if you're not going to plan, as he always says that if you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. So if you're not going to be planning our thing and how we're going to utilize and achieve these things, then we have failed already if we have no plans. So regarding the plan, we have to be careful and check one thing, that whenever it comes to a group or fiqh issues, that we don't have to use our brains and ideas, or I think it is this, I think it is that. There are already scholars who have done a lot of work on a lot of fiqh issues. We just go to the scholars and take their help. So for common people like it, what we have to focus on is establish a relationship with Allah. That doesn't require any fiqh. It just requires the love here. Obeying the Prophet, that again requires the love here. planning for the hereafter. So all these are not complicated issues, whereas simple issues, we just can follow them without too much problems. Different types of worships, yes, for that there might be how to do it and all that. We might have to know the details properly before doing the types of worship. Morals, good dealings, of course, that also what is right, what is wrong in normal business dealings, what is haram, what is not haram. Dawa, ordering other people to do good, stopping evil, team spirit, we have to do things together, inshallah. So this particular thing we can end with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he used to order the people, ballighu, convey, ballighu anni, convey from me, wa means and, love ayah, even if it is one ayah. So we'll take it one by word, one word by one word. Balligh means we already have listened. Baligh ho gaya. Baligh would mean that he's reached that per point. Ballighu, you make it reach. Like alima means he knew. Allama means teach. So ballighu means convey, पहुंचा दो. Right? Balaga means पहुंचा और ballaga मतलब पहुंचा दो. So ballighu is a plural. So ballighu, you all convey. Now this part is also important. Anni. We have seen an means from, and if we do the full TPI of an, so anhu, anhum, anka, ankum, anni, anna, and anha. Radiallahu anha, radiallahu anhu. Right? So we have seen this an before. Here the Prophet ﷺ is saying, talking about himself. That's why he's saying, Ballighu, you all convey, anni, from me, wa and love, and if. But and if, while translation, even if becomes difficult, but wa is not even when you translate it anywhere else, you'll not translate it as even. And if ayah, right? So now ayah is in singular form here. That's why it is the meaning of even comes with and if a single ayah. So that's why even it is put even if it is a single ayah, because the ayah is coming in a singular form. As I told you, kitabun is singular. So here it is ayatun. That's why it is singular. So ballighu anni, convey from me, walau, even if ayah, even if it is a single ayah, you ballighu, convey. So anni is also important because it is from me. So don't convey anything on the name of deen. But convey only if it is from me, which means it is the Quran, or if it is the Hadith, then only you convey it and spread it. Love, even if I said that wa means and actually, but when it is, because the ayat is in singular, that's why the and is we are translating it as even. Right? So these differences you will understand as you learn more and more of Arabic. And as I told, all languages have a different flavor of translation. So here, even if you're putting and if a single verse, doesn't sound very nice. So even if it is single verse, it sounds nice. That's way. This is the flavors of different languages. Ayah is ayah, and there's a single form. So it means that whatever we are reading from the Quran and the Hadith, if it is coming from the Prophet and me, then we have to convey it to others. Right? So to convey the beautiful message of Islam to others in the best possible way, and Islam is what is there in the Quran and in the Prophet's Hadith. We have to invest our time in that, our money in that, and abilities in this task, and help those who are doing the this already. But at an individual level, at least talk to people. It is not that it has now we know with the situation that we are in and the corona and all that. It's not going to be like a huge thing. One to one, you meet somebody, talk about it. Meet somebody, talk about it. That is how we can do dawah at the individual level, and that is how the Prophet ﷺ also did it at an individual level. So these are the basics on how we do after the study. Ask Allah Ta'ala according to the topic. So when we are, as we have said, we have listened to a particular ayah, then ask Allah according to the topic of that ayah. So that is the dua that we are going to make, and then evaluate our past in the light of this dua, whether we were acting on this particular ayah or no, and whether so we make dua that we should in future at least act on this. So plan for the upcoming days, ask, evaluate, plan, and then propagate. Once we have achieved these three, when we have asked what is there in the particular the topic of the ayah, we evaluate ourselves whether we are doing it or not doing it. If we are not doing it, then plan it for the coming days or start doing it, and then propagate it to as many people as we want, so that you would get the royalty of doing the propagation. So these are the rights of the Quran that a lot of scholars have mentioned. One is to believe in it. That is a part of the belief itself. Then reading it and understanding it. Just reading it, lot of people have been doing tilawa, 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 but understanding. Then after reading it and understanding it, then ponder over its verses. So it is not like just reading and go. Think about each word, think about each part or each ayah. What does Allah Ta'ala want? How is it? How it is connected to the previous ayah? How it is connected to the next ayah? So because of the connection, what is the meaning that is coming? Then act upon it and spread it to as many people as you can. Let Allah Ta'ala make us all these things easy for us. And now we will stop. This first part is over, and then inshallah now we can go on to the grammar part, which as we have already seen is basically going to be a revision of what we have done last time, but with a different word. So the format is going to be different. We have done two babs or two chapters. One is Bab Nasara, which Brother Saad revised in the beginning, and we have done Bab Fatah and Nasara. Two babs we have done. So this is the second part. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum. And we will go to the grammar. So we have seen that grammar fa'il is the verb. Verb we have been doing amr wa nahi. Amr means order, nahi means not to do, negative order. ये काम नहीं करना. That is same nahi of Arabic which has been coming down into Urdu, and we have also been using it in Hindi. So we have been doing with TPI, we are hearing it, we are seeing it, we are thinking about it, we are seeing it with our own lips, we are showing it with our hands, and we are loving it and doing it together. So if we do this, we will inshallah learn better. So with this, we'll have just a 3-minute revision of the past. Brother Saad has already taken it. But just again, the ism or the noun will have al or tanween. We saw kitabun is a noun, it has tanween in it, right? The plural is wawnun, yanun, or ata or atta in the end. So these are all nouns. Fi'l is verb. Verb could be madi, mudare, amr, and nahi. And the third part is a particle. Whatever is not a noun, whatever is not a verb is a particle. This is simple classification of the grammar of the Arabic. We have been doing fi'l or the verbs, and we have seen that all the verbs have 3 root letters: fa, ain, and lam, and this is the pattern that follows. And we have seen fataha has 3, nasara has 3, doraba has 3. That way, 90% or more than 90% of the words are coming from root letters, which are just 3 root letters, and all the other words are formed from it. We've seen perfect tense, past tense is madi, which is the past tense, mudare, which is the present or future tense, and amr, which means order. And the negative is a part of the amr itself. The last class we did the amr of nasara. Amr of nasara is unsur. Unsur means you help, single person. If I'm talking to a single man and I'm saying unsur, means you help. And when we talk to a lot of people, you all help. Unsuru, you all help. Unsur, unsuru, unsur, unsuru. And when you have to say don't help, it will be la tansur. La tansur, do not help. La tansuru, you all don't help. Unsur, unsuru. La tansur, la tansuru. Then we have uzkur. Uzkur, remember. Uzkuru, you all remember. La tazkur, don't remember. La tazkuru, don't remember. So here there's a vav and an alif added, indicating that this is the plural. Okay, so here, as you see, this vav uzkur uzkuru, this vav alif indicates the plural, and la tazkur la tazkuru, this indicates that it's a plural. Okay, so these are the small signs which you have to remember on how a little change in the word is causing a change in the meaning. So, u'bud, worship. U'budu, you all worship. La ta'bud, do not worship. La ta'budu,
No voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
सर का नेटवर्क चला गया.
Okay, let's see. I'll try to share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there was some disturbance and it was,
Okay.
but I'm sorry for that.
Even-
Inshallah, we'll start back again.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum, sir. Sir, you
Assalamualaikum.
there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Sir, there
Uh,
is a issue with the Zoom app or network. I don't know. Actually, my
No, I
network
think
is.
I think network from my side there was some problem, so that's why I think we were got stuck. So just
Okay.
now I think it's all okay. Or you're still the host, or I'm the host?
Sir, you are the host.
I'm the host. So I'll change it to you.
Sir, right now I'm on there on mobile, so I'll do one thing. I'll just shift from mobile to laptop. Then you can make me the host.
Okay. Oh, brother Saad, I'll make you the host. I'll make brother Saad
Okay,
the host.
sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So sorry for that. Coming back. So, okay. So we have not started our class for today. Actually, we're just on revision. So ukhluq. So as we said that this wow alif indicates the plurality, indicates that this is a plural. Ukhluqu and la takhluqu. These differences we have to sort of understand so that we know why a little difference is making a change in the meanings. So this is what we have to actually remember, and the more we remember, the easier it will get, because as I told you, this is like a formula of maths. Once you know it, it will be okay. Coming to today's class proper, inshallah. Today we will be learning the words daraba. So here the difference is that the past tense has a zabar and the present tense has a zair. Right? The roba. Ain kalima has a zabar here. Daraba, and the present tense has a zair. Yad ribu, not yad rabu, yad rubu, no, yad ribu. This has been already defined by the Arabs and we cannot change that. That the ain kalima here has got a zabar and the ain kalima in the present tense has got a zair. And that's why this goes by this pattern, bab, daraba. So all verbs that will come in this will have this pattern. The other example of this would be ghafara, yaghfiru, yaghfiru. So past tense has a zabar and the present tense has a zair. So other things are all going to remain same. That's why whenever we are learning, whatever we have learned, the same thing applies. And uh, So daraba will take everything together, past tense, present tense, and everything. So just look at my hand and how it is going. So this is slightly down for the past tense. Daraba, he hit. Darabu, they all hit. Darabta, you hit. Darabtu, I hit. Sorry, it should be darabta, darabtum. Darabta, you hit. Darabtum, you all hit. So daraba, darabu, darabta, darabtum. तुम मतलब तुम सब ने मारा दरब तुम. So daraba darabu, darabta darabtum, darabtu means I hit, darabna means we all hit. Right? Just repeating again. Daraba darabu, he hit, they hit. Darabta darabtum, you hit, you all hit. Darabtu darabna, I hit, we all hit. Okay. That is the past tense. The present tense is yaduribu, he hits or he will hit. Present and future. Yadribu, yadribuna. Wow, no, gets added. Yadribu, yadribuna. Tadribu, tadribuna. Adribu, nadribu. So here what happens is that in the present tense, things get added in the front. And in the past tense, things get added in the end part. Right? That is the difference. So when the ya comes in the front, we know that it is third person. When ta comes in the front, we know that it's a second person. When alif or noon comes, it is either first person singular or first person plural. That is in the present tense. So yadribu, yadribuna, tadribu, tadribuna, adribu, nadribu. Right? Coming to the order and imperative, this past and present we have done. Today's chapter is basically the order. So idrib means strike. Okay. Idribu, you all strike, you all hit. La tadrib, do not strike. La tadribu, you all don't strike. So like when Musa alayhi salam wanted water, so Allah Ta'ala told him to strike his staff, right? So he said, idrib, there the order that has come, idribu, or if it is with a fa, fadrib. Fadrib bi asaq al-hajr. Is istasqa Musa li qawmihi, when Musa alayhi salam asked water for his people. Uh, so the Allah Ta'ala told him, Fadrib bi'asaq al-hajar. Fadrib. So hit. That fa along with idrib, that zair of the alif will go. So then it will pronounce as Fadrib. Okay? Fadrib. And we know in Surah Yasin also, Wadrib lahum masalal. And then strike the example of whatever. Then the story of in the Surah Yasin continues that way. So daraba means to hit, and idrib is to ask somebody to do something or order somebody to hit. Here, idrib masala means give an example, strike an example. Idrib, idribu, idrib, idribu. Strike, you all strike. La tadrib, do not strike. La tadribu, you all don't strike. Right? That is a basic class of today is this only. Idrib, hit. Idribu, you all hit. Idrib, idribu, idrib, idribu. La tadrib, la tadribu. Okay. So that is the word. So the full thing will just inshallah have a revision of this. Brother Saad, you can come. We can just practice this one.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just practice the past tense. So sorry, the order and negation. I will say the Arabic part and you say the English part, inshallah. Okay. So idrib,
Hit.
idribu,
You all hit.
la tadrib,
Don't hit.
la tadribu.
You all don't hit.
Okay. So idrib, idribu, la tadrib, la tadribu. Alhamdulillah. So with this, we'll also go to the spoken Arabic part with the same word idrib. Idrib means to strike, and idrib we are asking one person to strike, and the person is answering sofa. We have already seen sir and sofa. Sofa means okay, I will do it, and sir means I will immediately do it. I don't even have time to say wow and for. So idrib, hit, and the answer is sofa adribu. Okay, I will hit. Idribu, you all hit. The answer is going to be sofa nadribu. Right. So Brother Sadi can come and I'll ask the question, and you can answer it in Arabic.
Okay.
Idrib,
Sofa adribu.
idribu.
Sofa nadribu.
So here we are asking order. Order is always the second person, and the person who is answering, he will answer in the first person. That's why idrib is an order to somebody across us, single person. And if there are many people, idribu. Wow, alif will get added. That indicates that it's a plural. So idrib, idribu. Idrib, the answer will be sofa adribu, and idribu, the answer is sawfa nadribu. Now, this is an object, so we are going to hit some object, and al-qurra is ball. So ball in Arabic is called al-qurra, right? So football is called qurratul qadam, and normal is called qurra. Idrib al idrib idrib is with sukun, but al is coming, so that way it is going to become idribil qura. Idribil qura. So the answer is going to be sawfa adribul qura. Okay, I will hit the ball. And if it is to many people, we'll say idribul qura, sawfa nadribul qura. So we have seen this before also. When there is singular, it will be with a zair because al is coming next to it. If this al is not there, it will be just idrib qura, right? But here it is idribal qura. And for plural, it will be idribul qura. This waw is not pronounced, and we will not be extending it also. The rules of tajweed say that when this kind of a construction comes, we will not say idribul qura. No, it will just idribul qura. So this waw alif, the madda part of it is dropped. Okay, so Brother Saad, you can come and we can actually practice this with a ball. Al-Qura. Idribil Qura.
Sawfa adribul qura.
So here you see it is not Idri Sawfa Adribil Qura. No, it is coming Adribul Qura, and Adribu is first person. Adribu. Daraba is past tense. So present is Yadribu, Yadribuna, Tadribu, Tadribuna, Adribu, and Nadribu. Adribu. So that's why there is a page there. Okay, so that's why each and every Arab of this Gardan is also important. So when you're practicing it, practice the words completely so that all that Gardan comes properly. Then don't make it Adriba or something like that, right? So Yadribu, Yadribuna, Tadribu, Tadribuna, Adribu, Nadribu, Adribu, Nadribu. So each part of that word is important, and each Arab of that is important. So the plural Idribu, Idribul Qura.
Sawfa nadribul qura.
Right. So the order is for the second person, and the answer is going to be first person. This is similar to the example that you have seen before. The other example today is Sami'a, the past tense. Sami'a, we have seen Sami'a. He listened, Sami'u, they listened, Sami'ta, you listened, Sami'tu, Sami'tum, you all listened, Sami'tu, I listened, Sami'na, we all listened. Right? So there is a past tense. Present tense, Yasma'u, he is listening or he will listen. Yasma'una, they will listen or they are listening. Tasma'u, you are listening. Tasma'una, you all are listening. Asma'u, I am listening. Nasma'u. So basically, the formula is important. That is what you have to remember. Sami'a means that single man had listened. Sami'u, all those men had listened. This is all masculine going on, okay? Sami'ta, you have listened. Sami'tum, you all have listened. Sami'tu, I have listened. Sami'na, we all have listened. In present tense, it is yasma'u, he is listening, the single man is listening or he will listen. Yasma'u, yasma'una, yasma'u, yasma'una, they all are listening or they all will listen. Tasma'u, you are listening. Tasma'una, you all are listening. Yasma'u, yasma'una, tasma'u, tasma'una. Asma'u, I am listening. Nasma'u, we all are listening, right? All this formula is important, and as I showed you in that ayat today, just that addition of that ya there was indicating that it is for third person, and the wow there was indicating that it is for plural, right? So each and every alphabet is very important. Like here, this ya is indicating the present tense or future tense, and it is indicating third person. So that yadabbaru and yatadabbaru also the same ya is used, right? So each thing is a sign. Each part of the word is indicating something, and only when you know all this gardan, you will be able to pick it up. The ta indicates second person. Tasma'u, tasma'una, second person. It can also mean a feminine third person. Tasma'u is also for a single third person, right? So depending on the context, you know whether it is a second person or a third person. Right. So with that, we come to the order of Sami'a, and the order of Sami'a is Isma. So I am ordering all of you listen properly. Isma. So I can say Isma li me jayidan. Listen to me properly. Isma li jayidan. Listen to me properly. if I'm telling to one person. But if I'm telling to all of the people who are listening to me on the Zoom today, I will say Isma'u. Isma'u li jayidan. Listen to me properly. Isma li jayidan. Isma'u li jayidan. So isma is for single and isma'u is for plural. La tasma. Don't listen. La tasma musica. La tasma laghu. Don't listen to dirty things. Don't listen to music. La tasma'u. You all don't listen. La tasma'ul laghu. Don't listen to all vain talk. Right? La tasma'u. And kuffar used to say, La tasma'ul Quran. Do not listen to the Quran. But we are not going to be that way. Inshallah, we will say, Sami'na, Sami'na. We all have listened already, right? Sami'na wa ata'na, and we all have obeyed. So it is like something is already done, and it is like assume that we are not going to think about it. That's why it is sami'na used in the past tense, but it indicates future also. Sami'na wa ata'na. It is in the past. The word used is in sami'na and ata'na is past tense, but it is indicating the futurity, and it is indicating surety that we are okay. If this listen, it's like done kind of a thing, right? That's why past tense is used there. Right, so with this, we can just practice this word Sami'a. Brother Saad, you can come.
Yes, sure.
Isma,
Listen.
Isma'u,
You all listen.
La Tasma,
Don't listen.
La Tasma'u.
You all don't listen.
Right. So, but now you know a simple word for listen and don't listen. So you can always try to take it in your vocabulary and utilize it and talk to your old people in your house. Don't listen to this, listen to this. So don't listen to that, listen to that. Don't listen to this news, don't listen to that news. Right? Don't listen to bad things. So listen, listen, listen to the Quran. Ismail Quran, Ismail Quran, Ismaul Quran. La tasma'ul lagwa, la tasma'ul lagwa. Right? Inshallah. So let's take the spoken Arabic part and the same thing. Isma is the order and the answer is Sawfa asma'u. Asma'u. Yasma'u yasma'una tasma'u tasma'una asma'u nasma'u. Isma. Isma'u. La tasma' la tasma'. So Isma answer is Sawfa asma'u. Isma'u. Sawfa nasma'u. Just get your tongue twisting with all these words and try to repeat it fast and try to think about the meaning of those words. Only then, inshallah, you'll be able to pick it up. Otherwise, you just listen to it once and okay, you say you have understood it. But unless you're going to repeat it, unless you're going to think about it, unless you're going to be internalizing it, unless you're going to get the feel of it, when you're seeing somebody and you're expecting an answer, you are not going to get the language, right? So the whole thing is the practice that is required, right? Well, Sad, you can come. Isma,
سوف أسمع.
Isma'u.
سوف نسمع.
MashaAllah. So with this, we go to the next. Ismail Quran.
سوف أسمع القرآن.
Right? So now we know that since Quran here is used as an object, it has got a zabar on it. Because what are we listening to? Quran. Quran is the subject in the sentence. So subject in the sentence always carries a fatha. Remember that we have seen Zaid and we have always put Zaid in the zabar. Object. Yeah, sorry, object. Jazakallah. So Ismail Quran. Quran is the object in the sentence because we are listening to what? We are listening to the Quran. Jazakallah for the correction. So Ismail Qur'ana. So in the normally when we are stopping, we can say Quran, but for our understanding and for our remembrance, for our learning part, now we should say Ismail Qur'ana, just to understand that here Quran is the object in the sentence, and that's why we are putting the zabar or fatha on that. Right. So the answer is so for Asma'ul Qur'ana. As you say, everywhere the zabar there is zabar on the Quran. So Brother Saad, you can come and we just have a little revision of this. Ismail Qur'ana.
سوف أسمع القرآن.
Ismaul Qur'ana.
سوف نسمع القرآن.
Right. So see, when you are pronunciating here, Ismaul Qur'ana and Nasma'ul Qur'ana sounds the same. Though written wise, here there is a waw alif also. Right? So, and here if you see Nasma'ul Qur'ana, Nasma'ul Qur'ana. Here there is a waw noon, but according to the recitation of the tajweed, there is a small concept here called as nabar, which of course it will be very difficult for me to explain here. So if somebody is interested, go to a Qari who will be able to explain you this number part of when it is being recited. How do you pick up whether there's a waw alif there or no? That will come a little higher level for a lot of people, but people who are experts in tajweed will be able to understand this. Okay, so with this, two more words are there. Alima. Alima means he knew. We already know that. So the past tense is alima, alimu. He knew. They all knew. Alimta, alimtum. You knew. You all knew. Alimtu, I knew. Alimna, we all knew. So alima, alimu. Alimta, alimtum. Alimtu, alimna. And the present tense is ya'lamu, he knows or he will know. Ya'lamuna, they will know or they all will know. Ta'lamu, you know, you will know or you know or you will know. Ta'lamuna, you all know and you all will know. A'lamu, I know, and na'lamu. Right? So a'lamu means I know, and na'lamu means we know. And order is i'lam, better know, जान लो, मतलब जान लो ये होने वाला है, जान लो, i'lam, i'lamu, सब जान लो. So a lot of places Allah Ta'ala has used this word i'lamu, जान लो. i'lamu annama al-hayat ad-dunya la'ibun wa lahm. Better know that this life of this world is a play, right? And lag. So a lot of ayats starting with i'lamu. Right? In Surah Hadid only there are I think two ayats which start with i'lamu. Better know. Right? So i'lamu. So i'lamu. La ta'lam. Don't know. Mat jano. La ta'lamu. Tum sab mat jano. Don't all you all don't know. Right? This is an order and a negative. That's why the translation will be different. But in English, it is just saying don't know. So it will not give you the proper meaning. That's why I translated it in Urdu. I'lam jaan lo. I'lamu tum sab jaan lo. Know you all know. La ta'lam. Tum mat jano. Don't better take knowledge of this. La ta'lamu is चीज की knowledge मत लो तुम सब लोग. Right? So if there is something which is not good to take knowledge, so we should ask Allah Ta'ala to give us beneficial knowledge, inshallah. So i'lamu, la ta'lam, la ta'lam. Brother Sadiq, come, we can just have a revision of these four words. Okay.
Yes.
I'lam,
No.
i'lamu,
You all know.
la ta'lam,
Don't know.
la ta'lamu.
You all don't know.
Right. So when we are saying just translating don't know, it doesn't tell us that this is an order. Right? It leaves some confusion. Right? When we translate as don't know, it would mean as if I'm saying that I don't know. Correct? But here, when the Arabic words are used, it is very clear that it's an order. La ta'lam, don't know. That meme has got a sukoon. And la ta'lamu, you all don't know. Right? So that makes it clear. Right? So the last word is amila, means amal kiya. Us ek aadmi ne amal kiya. Amila, amidu. Amilta, amiltum. Amiltu, amilna. And the present tense is ya'lamu, he knows or he will know. Ya'lamuna, ya'lamu, ya'lamuna. Ta'lamu, ta'lamuna. He knows, he will know. They know, they all will know. You know, you all will know. A'lamu, I know. Na'lamu, we all know. I'lam, jaan lo, better know. I'mal, sorry, do. This, sorry, I'm sorry. I'mal, do. Amal karo. ये काम करो. I'malu, तुम सब करो. जैसे आपसे सबने कहा था, आपसे ने said i'malu ala makanatikum, you work on your way and I will work my way, right? I'malu, la ta'mal, don't do. La ta'lamu, ta'malu, do, you all don't do. This ma and lam are tongue twisters, so whenever we are saying, you have to be very careful on what is being used, otherwise the meaning also changes. So i'mal, i'malu, la ta'mal, la ta'malu, not ta'malu. Malu, ta'lamu. Is ta'lamu means no, don't know. Ta'malu means to do. Right? So i'mal, do. I'malu, you all do. La ta'mal. La ta'mal, don't do. La ta'lamu. La ta'malu, do not do. Right? So i'mal, do. I'malu, you all do. La ta'mal, don't do. La ta'malu, you all don't do. मत करो, करो और मत करो. ठीक है? So Brother, you can come again and we'll just revise this. I'mal,
Do.
i'malu,
Do you all.
la ta'mal,
Don't do.
la ta'malu.
You all don't do.
Oh, mashallah. So that is the 4 words for today, and this is just again a basic revision of how the things change. If you see, in fa'ala, the ain kalima has got a zabar, and here in fa'ala everything has got a zabar. Uh, in the past tense, the things change in the later part. Fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'altu, fa'alna is in the end part of the word. And in present tense, it is the beginning. Yaf'alu, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, taf'aluna, af'alu, nafalu, all that comes in the beginning. So we had seen that plane which is gone, indicating past tense, which means that tail has got something, and the plane which is landing, which has got something on the nose, which means ya, ta, alif, noon, right? And order is if'al, if'alu, la taf'al, la taf'alu. These are the 4 babs that we saw. Past tense, ain kalima has got a zabar, and present tense also ain kalima has got a zabar. And nasara, bab nasara, past tense has got a zabar, and the present tense and order has got a dhamma or a pesh. And bab doraba, which we saw today, has got a zabar in the past tense and a zair or a kasra in the present tense and order. Bab Sami'a has got a zair in the past tense. It has got a zabar in the present, future, and order tense, right? So these are the 4 babs. As I told you, there is one more bab, Karuma, Karuma, Yakrumu. Both have got pesh there, but that is not a very common thing. That's why these 4 are more commonly used, and that's why we should memorize these at least. So any verb that comes, we have to try and see which pattern it is fitting. And as I told you, in the dictionaries, they will just write fa, indicating bab fataha, noon indicating bab nasara, bod indicating bab daraba, and seen indicating bab sami'a. So if there's a scene, we have to know that the past tense has got a zair and the present tense has got a zabar. If it is bab daraba, we know that the past tense has got a zabar and the present tense has got a zair, that way. Right? So that's why these are classical examples, and we have seen how to remember these classical examples with a small thing. These are the examples of bab fataha, where the past tense has got a zabar and the present tense has also got a zabar. I might just so bab fa'ala, yaf'alu, and the order is if'al. Ja'ala, yaj'alu, ij'al. And with nasara, bab nasara is nasara, yansuru, unsur. Same way khalaqa, khalaqa, yakhluqu, ukhluq. ذكر, يذكر, اذكر. عبد, يعبد, اعبد. So u'bud is worship. U'budullah, worship Allah. Daraba, yadribu. Daraba, yadribu. Idrib. And bab sami'a, sami'a, yasma'u, isma. So that has other examples. Alima, ya'lamu, i'lam. Amila, ya'malu, i'mal. So this is just practice. Keep practicing. Inshallah, you'll get it. We keep revising. We keep doing these again and again, and inshallah that will also help you. And to remember these 4 babs, fa, noon, dod, and seen. If you open Fataha al-Quran, Allah will nasara, will help you. Otherwise, you will be daraba, you will be hit. Therefore, listen, sami'a. Right? So this is the thing that they've made to remember the 4 babs. Fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. Fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. These are the 4 babs. Fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. Fa, noon, dod, seen. If you open the Quran, Allah will help you. Otherwise, you'll be hit. Therefore, listen. Iftahil Quran, nasar Allah, Allah, aw, daraba. Therefore, listen. Sami'a. So the secrets of this course, we have taken this before also, that it is easy to memorize the meanings and recall the meanings. You not get confused, because we have till now done the words that you already know. And in the last lessons, we have learned the great secrets of memorization is to learn the words and repeat it again and again, and to utilize it in your daily languages. That is what is going to help you a lot, inshallah. So we have taken examples of the salah, which you already know, and that's why it is simple. The words are already familiar. The ayat we already know, and we have a spiritual emotional connection to it, and we are repeating it again and again. The basic thing of any memory thing is that to repeat it again and again. So whatever we have done, whatever notes are there, just go through it again once more, and after 1 week, just revise it again. So remember each word and that we are reciting in the salah, and if you do not recall a meaning, we can always go back and check it, and then try to recall the ayat and the zikr that we are doing, and try to see the meanings of that, and that is what is going to help, because that's something that you're doing every day. You will remember that better, inshallah. So with this, we have reached the end of the 17th lesson, and totally we learned, including the first and second part, about 208 new words, which occur in the Quran almost 40,000 times. Right. So we are nearing our half level, 50% level. But if you are not knowing or remembering all these formulae, as I call it in maths, then we will not be nearing those numbers at all, and we'll still be confused on what is happening and why the changes are happening. So at least what is done, just try to see that you know that properly, and inshallah that will be helpful. This we've already seen, and vocabulary sheet. Best way is to teach. So somebody just to, whatever you have learned, just teach somebody, and then you'll not forget it, inshallah. Right. So with this, I think I'm done with the presentation part. And if anybody is having any questions, we are ready to take it now. Because of that cut in between, I think we lost some 5 minutes. So, any questions for today's class?
So
Anybody has?
I want to have this clarification about this second person. For example, when pesh comes at the end and wow alif pesh, then wow alif.
Yeah.
In these two we have to differentiate. No, wow alif when it ends, it will be prolonged. No, like
Yeah. Normally it is prolonged.
ta'lamu and
Yes.
la ta'lamu.
Correct. It has to be
Is it
prolonged.
correct?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You have to prolong it. But in some situations, as we saw when al is coming next to it, then this waw alif does not have any i'rab, right? And in those situations, then you are not going to prolong it. So in that situation, there is a particular part in tajweed which is called as nabar, which is done, which is slightly pulling it, but not pulling it as much as a madda. Right. So that is a little higher level. I think a lot of people will not be able to grasp this part. That's why I just mentioned it. So there we do what is called as nabar, where we are just sort of slightly extending it, and people who will know will understand that this is a nabar done here and it is a plural. But we do not pull it too much. Like I showed you, when
Like
al
madda.
is followed by an order for a single person, there is a zer that comes below. There is a kasra that comes below, right? But if it is plural, that waw alif will be written, but there will be no Arab on it. That's why it is not pronounced. You understood or no? Otherwise, I go back to the slide. Then
Yes.
I think you'll be understanding it better.
Jazam is there, no? Jazam on wow, jazam is
No,
there.
it is there normally, but when it is
always there, no?
Yeah, jazam is there normally.
And on alif there is no Arab.
Yeah,
Wow alif.
I'll just come to the
On wow
example.
it is
So,
jazam.
yeah.
And alif is without any.
See, correct. Right. See now
Arab.
here. In here, the wow actually has a jazam here. So this we'll say idribu. Okay.
Correct.
Idribu. So I'm pulling. This is madda. Correct. But
Right.
when it is followed by an al, this wow also does not have any i'rab. Because it does not have any i'rab, the bu is mixed with the al.
Correct.
Idribul. So we are not going to say idribul Quran. No.
No.
Isma'ul Quran. Coming to the Quran also, Sami'a Yasma'u. So here the pronunciation of this waw and alif is dropped in the pronunciation. We will say Isma'ul Quran. We will not say Isma'ul Quran. No, it will be wrong.
When it is followed by al.
Yes, when it is followed by al. Again, order is Isma. But when it is followed by al, we will say Isma'il Quran. Right? Now, in the tajweed, when such formation comes, when there is a waw followed by a sukoon, so persons who are listening behind will not be able to differentiate whether it is a singular or a plural. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Correct.
Here there is isma, here it is isma'u, right? But because there is an isma'u here, we know that it's a plural, because otherwise it will be Ismail. And because of this u, we know that this is a plural. So this is little higher thing, but since we are covering it, you have to understand this part also. So when an order is coming, there is a zair here. It indicates this is an order. And when Isma'ul Quran will say, it indicates that it's a plural, even if this Waw Alif is not read or the Madda is not prolonged. Here we will not prolong the Madda like we are prolonging it when there is no Al. Is it confusing or do you understand what I'm saying? So, for example, when I'm saying,
I understood.
yeah, Alhamdulillah. So, when I'm saying Isma'u, I will prolong it. But when Al is coming after that, I'll just say Isma'ul Quran. I'll not say Isma'ul Quran. No, that Madda is not prolonged. So, this shortening is called as Nabar in Tajweed terminology. And when we know that the front word, that's why they say Arabic is a very, if you can learn Arabic, then you become intelligent, because every moment you have to be very alert on what is there to know that now this is an order or an imperative. Right? Isma'u, that way. And here it is Asma'u. See now, Asma'u and Isma'u. So if you go to this slide, see this. Here it is Asma'u. No, so for Asma'u, it's a Zabar here. Now here it is Isma'u. So here we are saying Sawfa Asma'ul Quran, and here I am saying Isma'ul Quran. So here, because of that Zair there, we have to know that this is a order. Okay. Also, this this Alif will always be read of Asma'u. And this Alif will not be read. This is Hamzatul Wasl. So if I have to say for Asma'u, I'll say, then I will listen. I will say for Asma'u. And if I have to say order somebody, then I will say Fasma'ul Quran. Are you understand the difference? That this, when there is a Zair on the Alif, this will not be dropped even if there is a Fa in front of it. But when it is order Isma'u and a Fa comes in front of it, we will say Fasma'u. Did you understand this part?
Yes.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. If others are not understanding, it's okay. If it is getting confusing, don't bother too much about this. But this is like something which is basic, but a lot of people are not able to understand it. But even if you're not, it's fine. At least the basic class of today, if you understand the order, that is enough for now. As we go ahead, we'll have more examples coming, and inshallah, that will make it clear. Right? Any other questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In ayat kitabun anzalnahu, similar kutiba alaykum siyam. Kitab, kitabun and kutiba.
Yeah, kutiba is a passive form. We have not learned the passive form till now. That is a verb and this is a noun. So here the verb was kitabun. Because of the tanween there, two pages there, it indicates that this is a noun. Right? Now in the other ayat you said kutiba. So one is kataba, which is verb, which is active verb. He wrote. And kutiba means it was written. We don't know who is the doer of the action. It is a passive form of the verb. Okay, we have not reached that yet, but inshallah, when we reach, you understand the difference. But that's why the signs of the nouns are important. When it is kitabun, it is a noun. When it is kutiba, it is a verb. I hope I have answered your question.
Kutiba is the verb.
Yes, kutiba is a verb, but of passive form. Kataba means he wrote. Kataba, verb means he wrote. That is the meaning of the word kataba. Okay.
Yes.
But meaning is also slightly modified,
When
no? Like
it
first
goes into passive form, it becomes kutiba. Kiya gaya, haan. See, kataba means he wrote. Okay.
Translation
I'll explain it. See, kataba means he wrote in English, and kutiba means it was written.
Oh.
Right? It means that it is passive. So in passive voice, whoever is the doer of that action is not clarified, not mentioned. Likh diya gaya. Right? It means Urdu mein likh diya gaya means uska translation English mein hota hai prescribed for you. Means kisne likha? Allah Taala ne likhi hai. Right? Yeah, Allah Taala is not mentioned there clearly, but kutiba is a passive form, and it is said that it has been written for you. Means likh diya gaya tumhare liye, tumko karna hai. So uska translation is prescribed. Since you are a doctor, you know that you are kutiba. You are writing a prescription. That way. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good doubt, because even if a lot of people might be feeling the silly questions, but this clarifies, I'm sure, for a lot of people who would have never thought of the questions like this. So I'm happy that you asked such a question. Alhamdulillah. Any other questions? Anybody has any other questions? Brother Moiz, you do understand everything? Are you there? I think if anybody has a question, they can put it now, or else we can conclude the meeting, inshallah. For a few seconds, because we already crossed our time, 5 minutes more than our time. Anyways, I've kept the group open.
So you have taken this yatadabbaru and yatazakkaru, na?
Yeah, you've taken these two
These
words.
are also not 3 alphabets, no?
Yeah, these are basically
like,
from the derived form of verbs. Like we have alima and allama. So like that we have 10 forms. 10 forms which have some addition in the verb. Like nazala, we saw the word anzala. Right? So anzala is on the 4th form. So these are different forms of verbs that are there, and some alphabets get added to it. Like in allama, one shadda is added. Then in anzala, one alif is added. Then like in yatazakkara, ya and ta is added. And in yatadabbara, a ta is added, but that ta has become a dal. It is actually the 8th form where the ta comes, and the ta is transformed or changed to a dal there. That inshallah, when we come to it, inshallah, we'll take it. Now it will get very confusing for a lot of people. So we're trying to keep it a little simple for now.
Thank you.
Inshallah, with that, we conclude the meeting. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.